Hi, everybody. This is Gary Dean with Sentiment Timing, and this is our technical video report for Wednesday, October 8th, 2025. So, the market is pretty easy. Just go whenever we're at some type of moving average, you buy it, and that's it. And that's pretty much what happened today, where I'll give you the reason why I was a little skeptical, and it was really had to do with the futures. And this was where we were, and you can see. So we had this drop down. Let me make sure this is it. Yeah. So we had the drop down, and we just kind of it looked like a bear flag. That's what I was talking about. Let me remove this real quick. So it looked, we dropped bear flag, and this is what I was talking about as far as the fractal pattern where we had the drop and then we went sideways, dropped, and dropped. So that's really what things looked like here. And that was not the case. We got into right around the 10 o'clock time period, and that was it. We saw the bulls take over, and from there we tested these 67.55 highs one more time. Now I was just going over in chat on my on the Discord with a fine young lady, Amity, and I just said, the way that this is going right now, where we hit tested it 1, 2, 3. Typically, when you're almost think of it as a bottom here, where we're testing it. And eventually, you're jumping on this ice, and it's going to break, and it's going to go down. This is like banging your head on the ceiling. So my guess on this right now, I mean, obviously nothing is for sure, but they're going to break through this, and when they break through it, I wouldn't be surprised by Friday that we see the S&P trading all the way up near the 6,800, and if it gets through that, we just have to see if the gamma lines or the GEX lines move up on it. But this is, it looks like consolidation. That's it. So my take is we're gonna break through it. But the problem is this: is that even if we do, we still have these sell signals, and you can see it on the daily charts. You can see it on the hourly chart. And the thing is this, is that we can go up, and this has been part of that evil plan where every dip is going to be bought. And then when we get up here and we get into that time period where the bearish cycle is supposed to be hitting, but again, the bearish cycles have been ignored. So there's no guarantee that it's going to, but this particular date has been one of the larger dates that they've been looking for the last 4 months. So that's why I'm paying attention to it. And again, the evil plan would be that every dip is bid back up again, and now everybody's just going to start jumping in. And from there, as we get into that time period, which I've been mentioning in the reports, is that everybody's going to be in, and every dip that we get is going to be bid, but it's going to lose support, and they're going to keep buying at each dip here at each support level. And before we know it, we're down at levels where they're going to become panic sellers. Again, that's just a evil plan. I am not saying that is going to play out, but it's something that I've been mentioning since we were down here, that I don't believe this was going to be the low, and they were going to make everybody believe that this market will never go down. And again, everybody that I'm seeing on the talking heads, nobody is bearish on this market. Nobody is even concerned about a 0.5% drop. They're just like, you just buy everything. And typically, being in this business for 30 years, I'm telling you, it typically ends badly. And I know everybody is saying AI is going to change it and it's different, and it might. Like I said, I am not going to go down this bunny hole saying that this market is definitely going to drop 10%. I do not know that. But the AI right now is still in the infantry stage. Sorry, that's a tongue twister. And, as much as everybody looks like how it's going to help the world, a lot of these companies aren't making money off of it. They're investing billions, hundreds of billions of dollars into it, but it's due for a break. And we actually did see some of the quantum stocks take breaks today. And I'll move over to my other charts here. And we can see, here's one, let me see, RGTIW is down one. It was down a little bit more than that, but popped back up, but down a little under 2%. That's not it. RGTI down 1.5%. And the REIN that actually got hit a little bit here. And then the QBTS here, that was down almost 4%. This is the one I jumped into today at support. And well, it was a little bit before support. It was right around here. But we have the options that expire next week, so I'm not really too concerned. I'm pretty sure we're going to be trading up here or above it by next week. But in any case, these quantum stocks, they're ones that if you're a long-term holder, just hold them. Just know that your profits may be cut in half, maybe a little bit less than that. And just if you go by the notion that within the next 3 years, most of these stocks are going to be over $300-$400, maybe even higher than that. That's all you need to know. Like I said, I've been trying to trade these. When we get the rips, I sell them, and this one hurts because I got out of a lot of them, and they're 30-40% higher than where I not even totally out. I own some, but compared to what I did own. It hurts, but I'm still not going to chase these up here. I'm going to wait for some type of pullback because there's nothing that goes straight up or down. So we just, you got to know that nothing is going to change that fashion. It's for every buyer, there's a seller, and usually the selling end of it is the institution. So I would not really, we're going to get a pullback. How far, how deep, we'll see someday when it is, hopefully within the next few weeks. But in any case, before that, I do believe we're going to be heading up somewhere up into the 6,800. That's going to be my upside target on it. I wouldn't be surprised if we come down because, again, we still have 2 more weeks, 2.5 weeks before we run into that time period that where the bearish cycle hits, the larger one. So even if we do say come up here and then we pull back, they're going to use this as support. So we may even end up somewhere at the 68.50 before everything happens. But in any case, this is our support right here that this is what the bears are going to have to work through. If they don't, then we're just going to continue higher. But this is exactly where I told the people in the room that if you're looking for long position, this is where it would be. Anybody that took it overnight, they did really, really well. But in any case, it was a good area to buy. But if this gets taken out, that's where we start looking at lower support levels like the 66.14 level, possibly even down here. But for now, let's concentrate on what we're looking. We have these bearish divergences, support held. Look for the 68.50 if they continue higher. Unless this support breaks, then we're looking at a move coming down somewhere into the 66.30, 66.14 level. Taking a look at the 15-minute chart, look at the highs right here. No bearish divergences. If I zoom in on it, you can see that this is just consolidation up here. So again, you can see we have a gamma line right at the 67.60. If they get above that and then use it as support, 6,800 would be the next target, as we can see right there. Taking a look, let's take a look at IBM. Let me move back to here and had a decent day today. I'm actually long going into tomorrow. But you can see we made it, these are the volume bars right here, made it to the top, pulled back a little bit, came back up to it. If it breaks above it, this is going to be, the first resistance is going to be 247.70. And then we are looking at the next one coming up at the 248. I think we're coming up to the 248, and personally, I think we're coming up to the 249. And if we just take a look at our other charts here, the ones that have actually other gamma lines on it, you can see that we have, it's 250 is actually where the real gamma lines are. So these are your open interests that I'm showing that have been used as magnets and resistance and support, but this is your gamma line. So 250 on the Russell is where I do believe we're heading, but you can see these intraday gamma lines right here. So these are these little checkered lines. So we have one at the 247.71, we have one at 248.44, and now we're coming up towards the levels at 249.27, but this is your major one, the highest positive the NECX the line that we have there. So my take is by Friday, I would not be surprised to see the Russell 2000 trading up near 250. Maybe not by Friday. Maybe we have a little bit of a pullback and then we end at the bullish cycle up here. But anyway, I'm still more bullish on IWM than I am the S&P 500 on that. So let's see what plays out tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night. Go Yankees, and I will talk to you guys in the morning.